Outcome after going missing for 7 days. A Swansea, Illinois man was found alive and overall healthy this morning. Volunteers helping to reunite William Bill Crispin with his family. Thank you for joining us. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Morgan Harris. The break in the case comes after days of an extensive search. First Alert 4 Sean Logging speaking with one of the people out searching today who found Crispin.
A long week has come to an end.
What does it mean that Bill is back with his family here this afternoon?
I feel really blessed to be the first one to see him since he went missing. It's a miracle. Today I witnessed a miracle finding him alive.
Saturday morning, Stephen Wake was among 60 volunteers in a search and rescue group.
And I wouldn't want anybody else to have a missing person and not know where that person's at.
Up early to continue the search for 67-year-old William Bill Crispin. Bill left his independent living facility last Saturday evening to go to the store and didn't return home. Swansea police say he has a medical condition that impacts his brain.
So we think he got turned around there and couldn't find his way back.
It was this area that Swansea police say Bill was last seen a week ago along Frank Scott Parkway near Christchurch and Fairview Heights. In the days since, it's been a constant search by police, fire, and emergency crews, and by groups like Missouri Valley Search and Rescue, which organized the search Saturday morning.
He looked really good for being out there for 7 days.
Stephen was part of a team that searched through this cornfield.
Came around a little group of trees there, and he was laying on the ground.
It's not far from where Bill lives and was last seen.
And at first I thought he might have passed, and I yelled, I found him, and I saw his chest kind of move and took a breath. I'm like, he's alive, and I ran over to him and kind of grabbed him by the hand, and his eyes opened up a little bit.
You could have almost walked right past him and not seen him.
Swansea police say EMS took him to a local hospital.
His vitals and his condition were amazingly good for being without water and food for a week. He's obviously dehydrated.
Saturday, Stephen says if people take away anything from this, it's the importance of volunteering.
If you have the opportunity to volunteer and be able to get out there and help your community, absolutely do it.
It can make a big difference, like saving someone's life. In Swansea, Sean Logging, First Alert 4.